Good afternoon, both of you. How are you doing? The first we'll be talking about reading newspapers. Okay, what according to you can be the purpose of newspapers? What is the purpose of newspapers?
To get the news from each and every areas, local and international
To
news.
stay updated,
Yeah,
updated,
to stay
Yes.
updated. Yeah.
yeah, to stay updated for the current affairs.
Yes.
But a newspaper doesn't, like most of the time, it is not only the current affairs you get in the newspaper, there are so many other things also. Okay, great. And Divya, yours, what are your views on newspaper?
To keep you updated and get information. That's it.
So, Indrajit, which is the favorite corner of yours in the newspaper?
Uh, for me, I've go through all the pages, but mostly the front page is always attractive. Like each word I will read the front page. Then it is like a sports section and the editorial sections.
I
So yeah,
think the first page, like the first page is always, like the first page is always allocated to the current affairs. The sports or anything other, it is way at the last or maybe somewhere in the middle.
yeah. In middle of they refer that topics in the
So
second
you
last.
like, you also like to read the sports part most.
Yes, sport and editorial parts.
Okay. So for me, I'll share that whenever I get my newspaper, the first thing I will do is to look for. I read Times of India. Okay, so there is one section where it by the name Speaking Trees.
Yeah.
Yes,
In
yes,
that
yes.
part, bottom of that, huh?
Correct.
I
Yeah.
always read that. Like my first thing to do when I get my newspaper is to read that.
What is the special things in speaking tree?
It is just a general conversation, it's just a general perception of any topic. Like they most of the time the topic relates to the something which is recently happening. So yes, but it is a very general and kind of sometimes there are stories also where you get motivated and all that. So it is a very spiritual kind of thing which
Yeah.
they can try to convey in that section.
Okay.
Psychologically, spiritually, they want you to evolve. So yes, that section is my favorite section, and I always read that. Right. So the
Mm-hmm.
best way to read the newspaper is whenever you get it. The moment you get your newspaper, always go to that part first which you like the most. Because if you start with something which you are not interested into, right, you will lose interest of reading the newspaper.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Got it?
Correct. Correct.
So when the moment you get your newspaper, always go to your first part first because there you will start relating the things, you will start understanding the things, and then you will like your you will be able to generate a little more interest towards reading something which is not relevant or not favorite of yours. Get
How
it?
much? Yeah, correct. How much time you spend every day on paper?
I spend only 10 minutes, not more than that.
10
Because
minutes.
I do not focus on the first paper. Very honestly, I very quickly turn my newspaper, like I fold it the way that I don't get the glimpse of the front page, because front page most of the time has negative news.
Front
Or
page.
yes, front
Yes,
page,
yes.
wars, some negative things happening around the world, politics, this and that. So I always avoid front page. I never read the front page because
Okay.
I really do not want to start my day with something which is negative. Because
Mm-hmm.
the first thing you read to before starting your day, it will be your throughout. Throughout, you'll be thinking about it. Throughout, it will be there in your subconscious brain. So always try to. That is the reason I ask you to record a video of record any record a audio of 2 minutes, so that you start with something which is positive. You start with something which gives you motivation and encouragement to speak.
And any other way to ignite subconscious mind?
See,
There are so many ways.
so
And
what?
in that
Like,
way, if I'll start telling you about the so many ways of charging, or you can say activating your subconscious mind, then I will become a life coach. This whole
Yes,
coaching thing, this whole
correct.
coaching thing will turn into life coaching instead of communication coaching.
okay.
Okay, because I have a little idea of life coaching as well. So at times I try to just get some of the things which are very helpful in communication and in improving our communication. And I get it from the life skills only. Right. So these are only these practices which I most of the time try to share with my clients or the students. These come from the direct from the life coaching experiences. Right, you will observe it yourself. Then if you will start doing these activities will, like, you will find it yourself that something has changed. Right, because I was never this way. The way you people speak, I was not even near to it. I was very bad at speaking. I was having a public phobia. I was not able to speak even if in front of two or three people. However, when I was alone, if I am alone in a room, I can speak for like hours and hours. But when I need to go in front of public, I was really bad. But I worked on these things and I started doing, I started with a very slow pace. And now I think I can address a gathering of, let's say, I can address people now. Right? So these things actually help you a lot. So these are the tried and tested things which I'm sharing.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
So coming to the module, reading a newspaper. As you all have shared that what is it? Everyone has different purpose of reading newspaper. I read newspaper because I get it, and I want that section is very much near to my near to me. So I always wait for the day for my newspaper so that I can read that section. Okay, so everyone has its own perception. People have this curiosity to know what has happened in the world, what is happening around. Though it is not very much these days because we have mobile phones with us.
Correct.
And the first thing we do when we get up is to start scrolling our mobile phones, right? So there is no much need to know about the updates or the
Yeah.
the whereabouts of world nowadays. However, again, some of the articles written by very good editors that also I do read. Like there was the other day there was an article of very good economists, and he was explaining about the this change in the economics, which is very rapid, right? So I was reading that. So it was a very good article, not entirely related to economics, but yes, it was again some very basic things which we can change in our life in order to be more adaptable to this changing world, right? Next is newspaper are seen as good source of relaxation. Some people, as I asked you all that, what is the purpose of reading newspaper? Nobody mentioned entertainment. Some people only look for the entertainment page, the page 3, where lots of Bollywood news are there, or some entertainment like Divya shared that she at times goes to that puzzle section, right? So that is what entertainment that provides you a little relaxation also, right? So people most of the time read newspaper for the entertainment purpose, for the relaxation purpose. People get to know about the upcoming events in the towns or the cities. Again, the whereabouts of what is happening around the world. The mix of serious information, informative and light and entertaining news. Newspaper appears knowledgeable, learns regional or international languages better. Okay, reading newspaper, likewise listening. Reading also enables you to learn a new language. So when you are learning a new language, you are to focus on listening and reading as well, along with writing and speaking. Got it?
Yes.
Now, what are the benefits? Again, we have already discussed the benefits of reading newspapers. Now, what is the best way where you can read the newspaper in the comprehensible manner, where you will get okay this ever happened to any of you that you are reading something and you got stuck that okay fine I do not know its meaning and now I won't be able to comprehend anything. Ever happened this to anyone?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Like
many times.
Yes, tell me, Amit. You can go first.
okay, yeah. So, like while reading the tutorial, na, like there I saw like normally they do not have that. They do not contain that word. But in the tutorial, I figuring out ki sometime single word also I do not know. Sometime one line complete I did not get the context. But I keep
I
reading, and after two three paragraph, I relate. Maybe the paragraph or that sentence is talking to this sentence. So I relate that one. So yeah, it's happening.
I shared that clip with you also. I shared that clip, no, reading books.
Yes, yes. That
So you
Pallavi, no,
yeah, Palak
Palki, Palki,
Palak
Palki, Palki
Palki
Sharma.
yeah, Palki Sharma.
Palki Sharma, yeah. Palki Upadhyay Sharma.
Yes, Palki. Everyone knows her, right? Very
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
She is a very
She,
good orator.
she's
She's
covering this, news of this one, Israel and this.
Yeah, Hamas and Israel.
Hamas.
She's very active in covering. Yeah, I know. I observed it. Okay. Listen to such kind of people. The word she uses now it's too good. Like I always follow her with the
yeah, yeah.
vocabulary she uses.
Her voice is crisp and clear basically, है ना?
Right, clear, crisp, and she's to the point. Like whenever she's
Yes.
explaining something, the kind of words she uses, it's quite like impressive. So yeah, I am quite influenced with how she speaks and how well she speaks. So yeah,
Can
that
you
is
tell me such type of people, one or two or more?
yes. There are listen to the podcasts also. Podcast is the best way to improve your communication because
Mm-hmm.
there also you get to like there also you get the conversation which normal people generally have,
Mm-hmm.
so you can follow. There are so many podcasts,
Even
um
TED Talk.
TED Talks. Yeah, TED Talks I do not recommend much because what happens is these days people have different inclination, so at times there is kind of favoritism in the TED Talks also.
Hmm.
So these are not neutral.
Okay.
What I have observed is the TED Talks are not that much neutral.
Okay.
That's the reason I do not. Maybe the people I have followed, maybe they are not. They are biased. They are not neutral. That's the reason I'm feeling it. But yeah, instead of TED Talks, I believe podcast is the best way to learn.
Okay.
Right, because these podcasts are most of the time very these like they have very neutral kind of perception, very
Mm-hmm.
neutral ideas. They are not inclined much towards any particular uh,
Subject, yeah.
yeah, any particular. They do not have a very strict narrative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, everyone has its own perception. So I prefer podcasts more than TED Talks.
Okay.
Okay. So I was on reading newspaper with ease. How you are to read newspaper with the best understanding. So what happens, like you people had shared that what happens is when you are reading something, you get stuck at one word and then
Yes.
you lose your interest because you are not able to comprehend it.
Correct.
So instead of leaving that thing or start googling for the word, what you can do is keep on reading, right? Keep on reading and try to find out the way we had done, like try to look for the main idea. What is the main idea,
Main idea.
right? What is the main idea? And then you will be able to resonate or you will be able to relate that word. Got it? So never lose, even if you have lost the interest, keep reading it. try to look for the answer of that particular thing into the paragraph, because you will eventually get the main idea, right? So usually people read the newspaper to learn about the world. Which current events do you want to know more about? Which events and news items are not important to you? These are some of the questions which we have already discussed, like which is your favorite part and all that. Now go in with a positive attitude. Like look for the good news. Never go for the negative news, right? Always try to start reading something which would entertain you, which would provide you relaxation. Instead of getting directly into the first page and reading some negative thoughts, and then again that thing will stress you, will add more to your
Mm-hmm.
stress,
Okay.
right? So instead of reading with the negative or starting with the negative
So,
things,
so basically, how to understand this is the positive news or this is the negative news?
again,
Until unless we will
let's
read it
a very good example is these days the front page,
is a
the
negative.
no. On the front page, the major portion is given to this Israel and Hamas conflict.
Mm-hmm.
So just avoid it. Of course, it is a negative thing,
Okay.
right? So just avoid it and start it. I'm not saying that you are not. I'm not saying that do not read it or do
Mm-hmm.
not have your own perception. Read it, but once, not while starting your day,
Yeah, understood.
right? So try to read some good articles, which is, I believe, on the seventh or eighth page. I don't know what newspaper you read. So every newspaper has its own different allocation to what is important and what is not. So as per the newspaper you are reading, look for the articles, look for the good things which you can take. Okay.
So this newspaper should be physical or we can read online also?
Please prefer newspapers, traditional way of reading,
Traditional way.
traditional newspapers instead
Actually,
of going
I
to,
stopped my newspaper since 1
okay.
month, so I need to start again. Yeah.
See, what is the benefit of reading a traditional newspaper is it you are not distracted much. When you are reading something on your phone, now you get distractions more, I believe. Because
Mm-hmm.
along with the newspaper, you are getting some other notification from another application also, right? So
Yes,
instead, and
yes.
also screen is always distracting. You
Mm-hmm.
can compare the kind of learning you can get from an offline session and an online session, right? You understand the difference when you are learning something physical by being physically present and by just attending any online session,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So difference is always there. Definitely, this technology has provided us a little ease and comfort in connecting to people where we cannot connect physically, right? Of course, it is an advantage, but at the same time, we cannot say that it has completely replaced the offline learning, right? So offline enables you to focus more. Got
Hey,
it?
adding to that, na, if you want to read something without like while reading, we see that advertisement. You can use a different browser. Like Brave is a browser where you will not get any ads and all those things which come in the Chrome browser and all those things. So while reading, you can prefer that Brave browser.
I have not, like, I am not saying that reading online is completely waste.
No, no,
I'm not
just
saying
I'm
that.
adding it
It's
distraction.
just sorry.
Ad like while like when we are going to read something, na, the ads will come and all those. So
Yes, that is,
in Brave browser, it will not come.
of course, definitely. So
Yeah.
you both can check with this whatever application he had mentioned.
Yeah.
Great.
But I
What,
again,
Amit, what did you suggest?
Brave browser. I just write in the chat.
Brave.
Yeah.
Okay, done?
Okay, go ahead.
Great. I think he has shared it in the chat box. Now give the headlines and first paragraph a quick scan, right? Now by reading just headlines, you can get to know what is a positive and news and what is a negative news. Okay, vary your reading speed. Now let's say you have more interest in reading sports, so automatically your speed will change when you'll be reading something of your interest and when you'll be reading something which you are not interested into. So automatically your reading speed changes. Okay. Now
Yes,
take
yes.
mental note.
That I see. Like when I'm going to the my content only, there it like everything is simple. But when it coming to some critical topic and editorial, it's like my reading get like stuck. So I do not know what the mind think and how correlate those things.
It happens. It's a very, you can say it's a very common thing.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
next is take mental notes while reading. Now, notes is nothing but keeping things in your subconscious brain. Focus on key information. Now, what can be the best way to retain the thing is when you will be just focusing on the key information, right? So, key information is like what has happened actually. That is the key information. How it had happened, when it had happened, where it had happened, that's a different thing. Got it? For an example, an article that starts off detailing a recent election may contain information about unexpected results, right? So you have started something reading, which has started with something which is not relevant to it, but at the end of the article, you will get to know, okay, that this is the main idea. This was something which they try to convey. So read thoroughly, like read completely. You can assume the article will be about these results, why they were unexpected, and the possible consequences. Go into the article with that information in mind. Got it? Great. So as I've already mentioned, one more activity I will give you once we'll complete this topic. So that activity is you need to look for any article of the newspaper, be it online or offline. Look for that article and you need to give me summary of that. You just need to give me a gist of what was written in that article. Okay? Fine.
Okay, okay.
Done, guys?
Okay. Or can you share one article so that we can all three go with that article and we will share our thoughts. So there we
See,
can visualize how they are.
you all have a very different interest, right? Let's say Divya has interest in sports. You might be having interest in some economic thing, and Indrajit might be having some interest in political thing. So I would suggest to choose your article on your own, and then we can start with your ideas, what you had foreseen. Definitely, that thing can also be done, but not now,
ठीक है.
right?
So we are doing this now or hello?
Yes, right now in the session.
Okay.
Done, guys?
Yes, yes.
Yes, done, guys?
So okay. So I read the section of the Times of India, the tree say na, so that part only. So in that paragraph, the writer is trying to give the trying to give his understanding of the Sanatani Dharma. So he told like the Sanatani Dharma told to uh, keep growing and and adapting based on the times. So it's not like we have follow the old habit also, so we follow that and we also improve ourselves with the time. And there he suggested three step how we can improve ourselves, or like the path we can follow to grow ourselves, because the growing ourselves is something like we have learned something from our past experience and we are using those knowledge in our the present day. So that knowledge we can get it from some books, some the person who already faced that situations, that we can say like a teacher and the guide, all those things. And the second step he suggested like dhyan, which we are talking in earlier in this uh, class, कि we have to dhyan, it means realizing ki what I am doing, and the flow, finding the flow, ki where my thoughts are going, what not going right, what going right for me. So analyzing ourselves. And the third is a step is the third step he mentioned is connect with the reality of existence. It's related to like uh, getting the things which are done in the past, or something who has already done that one. So here he mentioned some book of our Sanantan, where he mentioned ki, these are the book which are written, so we have to believe on that part, ki at that time who has written those books, so they have experience and they have practical, so we have to accept that one also. So these three way we can involve ourselves. And he also suggesting that this is the Sanantini, it is not like a ritual which we follow, like all those things. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Amit. Yes, Divya, are you ready?
Okay. I just gone through the paragraph on the role of online education providers in the career development by Abhishek Amjir, who is the Chief Revenue and Marketing Officer in your educations. So, what is his viewpoint is he's saying online education is very good, and it is very helpful to upskill who is employed uh, due to the flexibility of the online education, and it is able to provide all the needs by uh, online. It is not like only conventional education will provide it, and it is very flexible. Also, he says it is very beneficial for employers also, so that where they would need to upskill their employees, they can enroll it this online educations, and give them the great platform for the learning. That's what he is trying to explain his article.
Great. Thank you so much, Divya. Yes, Indrajit, you ready? Please
So
continue.
basically, I gone through one article from Indian Express newspaper. So it is about today's match. So basically, our Mr. Sri Ravi Shankar have expressed their thought basically. So how to take the game nowadays, if they take serious or lighter. So he's telling if someone there are the preparation for their hands are painted their bodies with the national flags, India and Pakistan. So if they are taking so serious this game, then this game is not a game. So this is a battle, or you can say the businesses. Correct. So then if you taking the serious, then it will create several nonsense. Then create, you may get the anxiety and short temper, or maybe a bad thing maybe happen. If you take it very lighter, then you can enjoy this game. Either you make win, or either you win the game, or you make other to win basically. So if you go in this philosophy, then it is easy to your mind or everything. So his education is he's basically this learning for this paragraph is that game is a game. We should take very lighter, not a very serious note. Yeah. So that is all from my side.
Thank you, all of you. So, one thing which I want to mention here is When all of you were narrating what you have observed or what you have come across, you have read, so you definitely have used many words from that article, right? All of you must have used many of the words from that particular article,
Yes.
right? So
Mhm.
this is how you, of course, and that those particular words would not be used in the same sentence, or the whole sentence is not used, definitely. So
Mhm.
you have picked out some of the words, you formed your own sentences with your own perceptions, and then you form your own sentences, and then you narrated it.
Yes.
So what it shows is that how much it is helpful when you read something and when you comprehend it in your own way, because you get to know that how you are to utilize some of the vocabulary as well. That there will be so many words which you are not in the daily routine, you must not have been using,
Yes.
right?
Correct.
Uh,
Okay.
right. So now, if you will do this one practice, let's say 2 days of once in 2 days, it will be helpful for you to learn at least 4 to 5 words,
Yes. Definitely.
right? So this is the purpose of uh, conducting this activity.
Okay.
Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Got it? See, I was not concentrating that how grammatically correct you are saying, and I was not concentrating on what the main idea was. I was only concentrating on the words you had picked up, and I could very clearly understand that, okay, this word you must have picked, this word Divya must have picked, this word Indrajit must have picked. So those words, that thing was actually reflecting in what you, when you were narrating your ideas, that you had definitely picked some of the words. Okay, so the purpose is this. You understood the purpose?
Yes.
Yes, understood here.
Great. So I have to conclude it here only because it's already 3:45 and I have to join the another session also. Thank you so much for joining, guys, and keep practicing.